Welcome back to the channel. We got this old XR80 back together and she is running. Took her out for a maiden voyage not too long ago here. It's been kind of a rainy, wet day, so she's a little muddy now. But it's back, mostly together, still a lot to do. But let me show you how we got to this point. Stick around. Let's go ahead and check our ring end gap here. I'm just going to square the ring up in the cylinder with the top of the piston. Make sure it's even all the way around. I've got some instructions that came with this piston kit, but it doesn't give me the gap. A quick Google search told me I wanted to be between 6 thou and I think it was 14 thou max. Let's see here. Here's a 7. So that one's about 8 thousandths. I don't know if you can see that, but that one's good. All right, let's see if we can get our oil ring on here. Sorry, this is kind of hard to do so you guys can see. These are pretty fragile and I don't want to break them. But these are the scraper rings that were missing on that last piston that was in here. See how much thinner they are than the actual piston ring. Make sure there's no markings on here. Just gonna work it down. And that's gonna set on top. And then we gotta get one on the bottom. We wanna make sure they're free. Nothing's binding, they're moving around. It's raining pretty good here. Hopefully you can hear me over the rain. So now it says the top ring is silver and the second ring is black. Markings facing up. So I guess that's what they're calling silver. It's more of a brown bronze color. And that one's definitely black. And you can see, hopefully you can see that, there's some markings up here. So those are going to face up. So the second ring is the black ring. That one just says standard on it. Alright, that one's in there. Moves around there free. And we'll put our top one on. Okay. And then we got to make all the gaps on these rings 120 degrees off from each other. I'm going to install one of these circlips in now. Just makes life easier. I believe we're in there. I like to just push them to make sure they're in the groove. That's ready to go in. I still got some old gasket we got to scrape off of here. And I'm going to coat that bore with a little bit of oil. So the piston is marked exhaust side. You got to make sure you got that facing the right way. I'm going to put a little bit of oil on my wrist pin. Slide that on there. Now I got to deal with this other clip. I'm going to try to set you up so you can see. Always put a rag around all this when you're messing with these clips, because they will take off on you. You don't want them falling down there. First pin is all the way in. Let's see if we can get this in there. Okay, she's in. So we're going to put our base gasket down. It's not the greatest fitting gasket I've ever used. I'm going to put a little oil around my rings. Coat the piston. I believe we had to put our cam chain guide in through this way. And there's a spring that sits up here. Get it to sit down on those dowel pins. New head gasket. That was kind of a pain in the balls, but we got it. These were my 2 sprocket bolts for the cam. They're pretty beat up, mismatched, so I'm going to put 2 new ones in there. Just a couple I had laying around. The threads on this one look real bad. I got to find some washers for these. So it looks like we need 15 foot-pounds. Go evenly. Okay. So we'll get our cam sprocket back on. Make sure we're still top dead center. Circle points up 12 o'clock on this one. Going back, I probably would have just put the sprocket on when I put the cam in. Yeah. I think we're on the money here. Got exhaust, intake, TDC. So I'll put my last bolt in here. And then we'll adjust our valves next. So we're going to set our valve clearance at 2/1000ths of an inch, or 0.05 millimeters. We want to just make sure we're on top dead center. Compression stroke. We got some here, just a little here on the exhaust. So this intake one is probably on the loose side of things. One of those rare cases where you get to use your 9mm wrench. Back off on that lock nut. Get my feeler gauge in there. I'm looking for a medium drag. And we're on the money. I think we're going to put our valve cover on and try to get this thing back in the frame. I might just do like a time lapse of that just to save time. This video is probably going to be pretty long. So I'll do a little voiceover here for you. But here I'm just installing that motor, making my connections and getting everything hooked up, bolted in. I had to put that new clutch piece in. It gets wedged in between the frame and the motor on the right side, and it holds the clutch cable. Just kind of clean the carb up quickly. Too quickly, because I'm going to be going back in there, I think. Got the factory air box in. Got it bolted down. Carburetor in. Putting the exhaust on there. Putting the foot peg back on. Engine cover back on. So let me get you up to speed here a little bit. Motor's in. We got oil in it. We had spark. New spark plug. Just quickly went through the carburetor. Got the exhaust on there. So she's got some compression. I put the factory air box back in. I capped that off. It's starting to look like something anyway. Just cleaned the air filter, got it oiled up. My coil is actually broken, so I'm going to have to find a way to secure that up here. I'm not sure about this clutch yet. It's hard to find much info on how they do this, but I'm not too impressed with how it is right now. I've got 2 nuts on it, and it seems like it's held in place. You would think there'd be a nut on each side of this, but it don't fit inside of there, so I don't know if I have the wrong clutch cable or what the deal is there. But I think at the moment it's gonna work. So I'm gonna flush the fuel tank. We'll put some fresh fuel in this thing. I want to look up and see how to route my throttle cables and whatnot. We'll get our slide back in it, get some fuel in it, and we'll give it its first kick. Kind of having some tuning issues here. So the O-ring was missing on the front of that carburetor there. I found an O-ring that kind of worked. I put a little RTV around it. I had a pretty bad air leak there. I got that settled. But I'm still having, the idle wants to hang a little bit, then it drops down and it wants to stall, starting kind of hard. So I think I got to pull that pilot jet back out. Maybe we picked up some crap somewhere along the way. And I'll run through that one more time, get it to run a little better. But otherwise, we got it together and running. My son Lincoln took it for his first drive today. He was pretty thrilled about that. He dumped it once pretty good, but he took it like a champ and got right back on it. Okay, stop. Clutch in. Okay, go. So we're going to learn how to figure that clutch out and start and go and stop and all that good stuff. The chain kind of came back to life, you know, it's still a little rusty, but I lubed it up good. It moves around pretty well. I think that'll work for now. It's going to need front wheel bearings too. I think the clutch cover over here has actually got a little leak. The gasket up in there, I think, is leaking. I gotta route my cables better yet. It's got this aftermarket throttle assembly here, which I'm not too impressed with either. Cable's a little long, but we're gonna make it work for now. Still waiting for the graphics kit. Once that comes in, we'll stick those on there. Try to make this thing look a little nicer. Give it another bath and keep at it. So we'll see you on the next video. Hopefully we'll get this thing done.